Oh, it's Von Ivan playing. Oh.
Oh, we've got little Caesar. Little Caesar is Ferma Torino.
Oh, gotta play a little bit of USF Kappa Klaus.
USF Kappa Klaus.
Are we really making fun of Von like this?
I believe we are. We're making an impression of Von Ivan's internet persona. In real life, I was really surprised to find out that Von was actually a Mexican. And he had a Mexican accent. That was a real big surprise to me. His actual speaking voice. I was quite confounded when he came to Leicester last year.
It was one of those, like, just, you know, I think alcohol changes him. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, you see him in the game, he's like, oh, chilly hands, got not all, like, you know, blah, blah. And then he's like, he has a beer and he's like, hey, you're right, Stormless.
Like, hey, baby. What can Daddy do for you?
Von, is that you?
No, in all honesty, he actually kept up the Von Ivan voice for the entire duration of his trip to England, and that took some serious commitment, I thought.
No, that is his actual voice, eh?
It's not.
It is.
There's recordings of him. Sorry, am I spoiling Christmas for you? Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. Yeah, no, that's his actual voice. Yep, sorry.
Anyway, we always have a bit of fun with Von Ivan, but guys, welcome to Game 3 of Week 2, King of the Hill. Von Ivan has just taken Paula out of the king position, dethroned him, and is now up against Caeser, who opened our games for us with Theodosius in Week 1. Caeser put on a great display as OKW, but can he be successful with Austere versus Von Ivan's USF?
Can he indeed? And Von Ivan's gone straight in with the first pick. Heavy Cavalry Company. With, of course, the long-term objective of getting to 13 command points and getting a juicy M26 Pershing.
I think that's a weird commander to lock in with straight away. I don't know if I'm alone in thinking that, other than being able to build defenses. You know, like, it seems that you wouldn't pick that straight away at the start of the game. So Von must have like a specific strategy, whether it's for the map, whether it's, you know, just in general USF that he's going to show us, and that interests me a lot when people make commitments like that.
And talking of commitments in this game, of course, Caesar as the contender chose to play on Kholodny Ferma, which made Von Ivan think, So if he's going on Kholodny Ferma, I want a mobile faction that can take advantage of the numerous flanking routes, sight blockers and shot blockers. So he locked in United States forces, and that's how we originated with this game.
I would have totally expected Soviets, but mistaken. And it's good because as we see him building the mortar right now, I mean, it's a good map for USF. You know, those little choke points, you know, and he's going to be having access to a lot of smoke. He's going to be able to just charge through there, get behind the Austere. I mean, there's Austere, great support weapons. They're going to be flanked through all these narrow cutoffs, and you know, he will get a very, very nice late game reward as well.
Be interested to see if he goes smoke in this game, because of course it's much better to wait until you've got your officers on the field now, because rifles aren't the smoke yielders anymore. It's officers and rear echelons.
Yeah, I have to say, this is cool.
Pioneer just died there.
Yeah.
Just in the north. It's a nice pick in the early game. They're not very expensive Pioneers, so it's not an amazing pick. But 200 manpower down the Swanee.
200 manpower at the start of the game, I still think is significant within 4 minutes, because you don't want to be losing those units, really. Which is a shame, but as you say, easily replaceable. Instead, he's going to go for the mortar first, which might be able to push off Von Ivan's mortar as it tries to take MG out of house covering central VP. Caesar's well on it though, and is already on the move, trying to get his strategic cap back.
Somebody's just shown up in chat, 565 people. Please give all your love to Mr. Smithereens, or Mr. Smith, as he's sometimes known. He's put over 10,000 hours of his time into patching this game in the past year and a half. You may disagree with some changes. People always do. Patches are like one big debate. But he's working for free, just for the love of the game, so everybody give him some love.
I think he's done an excellent job. And this is one of the things I say when it comes to balance, is I try and leave my personal opinion out of it, and watch how the top players perform in this environment, because I think that is the true measure of whether it's working or not.
got the US mortar that's now going to try and counter the Wehrmacht mortar. We're developing into mortar wars, it would seem.
We should have that counter coming over though. Caesar does have his mortar now, and he should be looking to retaliate back. Instead, that is currently on the move. Flame Pioneers moving up to the church, going to be able to force retreat from that very, very quickly. But poor Caesar has not been able to get control of his field point for a while.
What's Von Ivan doing getting into that church? The flamethrower is running rampant here. Flammenwerfer 35 is a potent weapon, and Caesar is on the warpath at the moment. However, it must be stated, Dan, he hasn't got any fuel.
No, for Von to be on plus 29 fuel a minute and Caesar to be on plus 13 is a bit of a kick. And as we were talking about earlier, Von has more strategic points, which means, you know, he's getting a very sizable amount of fuel and he will be teching up quickly now. Against Oster, sorry, you know, Lieutenant is very, very strong, and especially that A half track, which I hope we see.
We could indeed be seeing that in this game. It is a very potent vehicle, and I've seen a very cheeky Taliban go up, but he nearly paid for it with his life, did that Pioneer.
That was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. Did that take his munitions? I think that mortar killed the mine and took his munitions.
It's possible. They're definitely close to 100% complete on that. I would have thought it'd be a wipe if he'd completed the Taller, in all honesty. So
no, it wasn't finished building. So it wasn't like it was still building and he cancelled it. It seems like he lost, because it's 50 munitions for those mines, and he doesn't have that anymore. So
no,
unless he used an ability I didn't see.
Well, there's this retreating grenadier. I'm going to check the retreating grenadier when he gets back to base to see if he's still got a cooldown on the rifle nade. No, he doesn't. So yeah, it seems like he lost the Taller mine munitions there.
Interesting. But very unfortunate for Caesar, because as you were talking about, you know, we were talking about the A half track, which is a great counter to tier 2 Oster, you know, just due to the fact it shreds the scout car. It's an amazing suppression platform and can suppress assault grenadiers with Shreks before they can get in range to fire back. So it's a great unit versus tier 2 Oster, and it could have been countered immediately by a well-placed Telemine, and that is very unfortunate. Caesar did not get that off.
You talk about units before they're built sometimes as though they're on the battlefield.
Well, yeah.
But it's so funny when you're wrong.
Well, when am I wrong?
When I'm wrong. But I love it. I've done that before. I'm like, yeah, when this A half track hits, it's going to be crazy. That mine would have really helped. And then he doesn't even build one, just to spite you.
Well, no, he could not build one, and he could go straight into movement. But, I don't know.
You're already getting smarmy.
In this position,
you're already getting smarmy.
I would have thought. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
So you've got a lot of ego riding on this now, as have I. We've both. I
have now. You've called me out on it.
Doubled out, and you're getting smarmy. You're like, well, I may be proven wrong, but I highly doubt it. I
feel like I'm sweating more than Von Ivan is. And Caesar is like, no, please.
I might PM him, even if it's like in 3 minutes ago time. Nice onslaught from Von Ivan. He's pushing in. We had the Rangers also called in.
Oh, look at that!
Oh, what a grenade! Nice!
Oh. And do you know what's great about that is that because of the 4 windows on this side, the grenade literally hit all of those models in those 4 windows.
It did indeed. That was absolutely beautiful pineapple there.
So we can safely say that I've lost the bet, eh? I think it's
to be honest, this is so juicy to me because you and I, we ego monsters, right? So for us, we don't bet with money, we don't make forfeits, we just like cry and die on the inside when we're wrong, and that's more than enough reward.
Yeah. Well, it's the one thing I love about this game is that you just get surprised by things. You know, it's,
yes. Ooh, the 4 times Thompson machine guns have been upgraded. Very heavy submachine guns are these. They were actually used in the 20s in gangster warfare. It's almost like an escalation in the Prohibition era, and here they are with the Rangers on the warpath.
Alright, well, Von has done very well in this game so far, and has taken a lot of map control. The USF normally enjoys quite a nice start game, especially against Oster, but this does not look good for Caeser at all.
No.
+7 fuel at the moment. The only tech we have is up to tier 2. Finally getting healing, but he just doesn't really have a lot of capabilities to deal with Von Ivan. Best thing he can do, I think, is to get everything working together. Because now that the bars are there, he's going to be relying on that suppression platform from the MGs. And instead he gets into that building, which is one grenade away from going down. Von is going to spot this immediately. If Von doesn't throw this, but he can't throw the grenade, can he? Thank God. Caeser spots that straight
munitions at the moment, but yeah, he was in a bit of a trap there. I mean, you have to think, Von Ivan's been playing this game since release. Kholodny Ferma was unleashed about 3 weeks into release in 2013, so Von Ivan has been playing on Kholodny Ferma for a hell of a long time. Caeser, a relative newcomer to the series, especially at a high level. He's in Von Ivan's territory right now.
Yeah, Von is very good when it comes into the tournament scene, really. And it's just so different to watching him in auto match, because there are times I watch him in auto match and I'm like, how is this guy ranked? Do you know what I mean? See these like crazy things, but Von just always pulls off these amazing games, and the fact that he is deprived on sleep right now is even more impressive to me.
Indeed, it is impressive, but that's what I'm saying. He's entered that Korean zombie internet cafe mode, where he's capable of great RTS mechanics whilst functioning on little sleep at all. It's very good. They're actually having a lot of warfare, a lot of massive assaults were operated on little sleep. A lot of amphetamines were taken by the Wehrmacht, in fact, during the Battle of France and the invasion of Poland and Operation Barbarossa. They were literally on speed.
What a time to be alive.
They called it Fuhrer juice. It's actually true. They did.
Really?
Happy Fuhrer juice. Yeah, they were like... it was like a joke because they knew they were killing themselves.
I didn't realise it was called that, but I knew that it was happening.
This Panzer Grenadier is in a difficult spot. He's in a very difficult spot.
Just as a disclaimer, we're not suggesting that Von Ivan
this is historically accurate.
is on Fuhrer juice. No sleep and lots of energy.
No, we're not suggesting that. He's the US, so it wouldn't be called that. It'd be like Yankee Power or something.
Yankee Power.
Something like that. They'd have a different name, surely. But regardless, in terms of games at the moment, Caeser has had to lock down elite troops with the Tiger Race as the ultimate call-in. But is he even going to be able to get there? Because at the moment he's under triple cap duress.
I don't know. I think Caeser, because of the VPs, I think Caeser is going to deem that he does have time. He's locked in elite, which means that he probably will try to climb to 17 CP and just make use of that Tiger Ace. But Von, if he's being clever, will just maximize the amount of time he spends around the VPs and close this game out way quicker than a 17 CP game could ever get to. So, oh, nice grenade there. That's a great stun grenade.
Stuns them as they run full speed, but they have suffered health damage.
Kind of gives away the doctrine choice as well.
It really does.
Yeah, and Von might take that as a fact of, okay, Caesar's really struggling. He's literally locked into the Tiger Ace. So Von is going to bring out the Sherman. It's going to be his first vehicle.
Great vehicle to build when your Wehrmacht opponent is suffering for fuel. It's almost an AA half-track. But it isn't. It's a Sherman.
Are we still doing this?
No, I was just making an analogy. It's like an AM track, but it's actually a tank.
I've lost that. It's fine. Thank
you. Indeed. Who could ever predict Von Ivan, though? It's a very difficult thing to do. He's unpredictable. He's chaos. He's all over the place at times, and in the best possible way in this particular game.
Well, Caeser is, in a way, prepared for this. He has enough grenadiers to provide Faust. He's got the AT gun ready, and it looks like with the MG and 2 Grens on the northern side of Kholodny, he may be able to just take his fuel resource back and consider teching up for a Panzer IV. Now this MG is very unfortunately caught off by these bars, which means that they cannot actually set up and get on the gun quick enough against the fire rate from the bars. Another nice stun grenade going off here.
As course, the pineapple grenade there. And it looks like he's taken the MG42. And to be honest, that could be GG now. If this MG42 escapes, Dan, it's going to be so difficult to get out of his own base sector. So the Sturmgewehren, the Kar 98s are firing, but the Rangers are here with the Thompsons. Despite the mortar fire, they're throwing at Pineapple, and they're on the warpath.
Yeah, we've got the AT gun is about to be knocked out of position by riflemen with bars through the center. That might be the cue that the Sherman needs to start making its move up and clearing some of the infantry. Now he knows where the AT gun is. He can use that Sherman to much better effect.
Absolutely, the Pak-40s had to be built, but I don't think it's going to matter. The Sherman's got smoke, and the Sherman's quite dope. And right now, Caesar's got to be feeling like he's a joke because he's not been able to do very well in this game at all.
Which is unfortunate because he played so well versus Theodosius.
He did. He's a great player.
Yeah, absolutely. But Von seemingly very, very strong today. And if Von wins this, Von's the second person. People are winning money in this tournament finally.
We did. We just had a squad wipe of the rifleman. He just stayed there. That must have been tiredness. Just in the centre by the house, the destroyed house. We lost a full health rifle just standing there. I believe that's a little bit of tiredness kicking in. Could that be a way back?
No. I highly doubt it. We're 10 CPs at the moment, just under 200 VPs left. I kind of feel like Caesar would have to do a lot of damage, or I think he's been building fuel caches as well, so maybe he's going to tech up, but he hasn't gone for Battle Phase 2 yet. I'm really confused as where he's going. Was the fuel cache to give experience? You know...
Five-dimensional Scrabble playing.
It feels that way.
Six-dimensional snakes and ladders. Caesar's operating on a continuum we just cannot understand.
Yeah, I mean the thing is as well is that when this Tiger Ace comes in, I say when, it might not, but assuming that it does, then what? I mean, you lose all of your resource income to a very minimal amount, and you might be up against, at this rate, Von can get Jackson, he can get the Pershing, he can... You know, he can contest this, so even with a Tiger Race, I don't see this being...
Tiger Race. It's not going to happen.
I don't see it being winnable, so...
No. It's just a slow death now. It's almost like, you know, just watching somebody in their rocking chair, the 94. You have to visit them every week. It's like a chore, almost.
It's like the guy on Fahu's stream.
Yes! That's his dad, I think. We can't say these things.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was just like a clip of a...
No, that's his dad in Fahu's apartment.
Oh,
Major's about to die in the west. He throws smoke because he can now. What crap smoke bomb on my screen? That was just terrible. Sherman's reversing into action. You keep that grenade from even capping a victory point. And we only now have 104 seconds of play left. Mercifully.
Keep up the pressure. They're down to 100
In fact, just arranged for Caesar to travel to Switzerland to bring on the slow decline.
Yeah.
Come on, Dan. Let's hype it up. Come on. Let's fake hype the rest of this game.
I feel it would be more beneficial for me to conserve my energy for a game with more content. But
how was your week?
We could give it a go if you want to.
Holy crap, the rifleman and the lieutenant operating in tandem in the southwest, pushing that Pak-40 straight back into the game. In the centre, we have the 50 set up with mortar support. It looks all but over for Caesar. However, Caesar could be getting back into this. What do you think, Dan?
Well, he definitely has a chance if he gets this fuel point. I think that's going to be the GG. Mortar is going in to connect it. Once he gets that fuel, there's no telling what will happen. Caesar will be unstoppable as he builds his AT gun, his second AT gun. Then he'll be able to deal with the Sherman. His advanced micro will carry him forward against Von Ivan's infantry. And he has a way to go, but we've seen big comebacks from under 50 VPs before.
We have, and this is not one of them. If you're watching this on YouTube, skip to the next video in the playlist.
We don't know, actually, with a note of seriousness, how many times have we said this before? And the game is flipped. So let's try not to, to jinx it here.
But then it's really funny when we get jinxed. I mean, always keep watching just in case. But in all honesty, it's very, very much over. We've also now got major artillery thundering down on this MG42 and the pack, and hitting them very well indeed.
I give credit to Caeser for continually trying to find a way out of this, but this has, every time he's moved out of the base, this has resulted in less units returning to base, and I think this is a situation where, you know, with a bit more time, the start game has been so destructive.
This Grenadier is flanking the Sherman. Might be able to get the Faust off here. This could be a way back in, but he's only got 9 victory points left, so he now needs to Faust the Sherman. He's got 2 men, 1 man, and then, no, he's not going to be able to cap that Southern victory point, and he is about to lose.
Alright, well, GG to Von Ivan, who, you know.
Why is he capping that munitions with the Grenadier there? But anyway, GG, well played, Caeser. You're a fantastic young player with a great future ahead of you. But Von Ivan is a juggernaut.
Alright, back to the lobby. Alright, well, guys, you know what to do. Let's get that raffle open so that we can get our next contender to take on Von Ivan. Von Ivan is now on the accumulator with £20 in his little piggy bank. And we need someone to save our prize pool. So please, guys, let's pick someone. Now, whoever wins this raffle, please make sure that you do pick quickly. You may want to check out the spreadsheet now and get an idea of who you want if you do win. That would be a good idea to help us get game.